Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are in Chicago, Illinois, and even more specifically than that, we are in front of the Museum of Science and Industry, a museum that I have done many field trips to as a young child. Always brings back memories, these museums and zoos and things to do in Chicago. You know, living in northern Indiana, we would always bus up to Chicago for field trips. Done a lot of field trips here, also the Field Museum, the Brookfield Zoo. These were the places that you would go on field trips when living in northern Indiana. And I have a bunch of nostalgia, and I do love these museums. I visited the Field Museum not too long ago and wanted to check out the Museum of Science and Industry today. So please follow me. Oh, this spinning door is self-spinning. Let's get in here real quick. Whew. All right, made it. This is called Science Storms in here. This big rotating disc full of sand, and I guess we can actually control it here with this way to go faster. Oh, there we go, it's speeding up on this interesting little mini avalanche right there. Here's an indoor tornado. Don't worry too much, because it's one of those non-dangerous tornadoes that can live peacefully indoors. We have the tsunami simulator here. This paddle here can create massive, oh, there he goes. Created the wave, let's follow the wave. Oh, yeah, that was a bad one. Clacking balls like would be hanging on someone's desk. Oh, there you go, we got a ginormous set of clacking balls that you can clack. Oh no! It's a giant Tesla coil on the ceiling. Oh, that was loud. Oh! Check out this big electric science ball behind me. You can see the electricity trapped in the glass. Let's see what happens if I touch it. If I were to touch it. I can feel the electricity pulsing through my organs. It's a fireproof suit right there. I especially love this fireproof helmet from the 1880s. That is terrifying. It's like a giant steampunk owl helmet. Oh, what are these? Little race cars. Oh, watch out. And looky what we have here. Authentic mold-a-rama here at the Museum of Science and Industry. And look what the mold is. It is the actual city of Chicago. You can see the various tall buildings, including the Willis Tower right there, formerly known as the Sears Tower. We got the Ferris wheel there on Navy Pier. Let's make us our own mini Chicago. There they go, coming together. Oh, there we go. A miniature. Oh no, it's stuck. Oh no. What do I do? It's stuck in the hole. Well, I think I got my fingers up there. There we go. There you go. I've successfully wrestled it out. Oh, it's still hot. Oh, still hot. But you can see, oh yeah, look at this. You look at the back side here. You can see the Buckingham Fountain right there. The bean there. And on the other side, it has the word Chicago. It's a really cool mold. Here we have the temporary exhibit here, the art of the brick. I believe this is a gallery of artwork made from Lego bricks. This artwork is by a Nathan Sawaya. It says art is not optional. And we see this figure contemplating its existence in a chair, and it's made entirely of Legos. It's a pinching hand made from Legos. See, it's pinching the one little tiny red Lego there. So what we have in here is various pieces of famous artwork recreated in brick form. This is a piece of artwork known as the Kiss. So yeah, it's interesting. They have the original artworks there. You can see there's been kind of a 3D version. The Great Wave of Kanagawa. Right there, you can actually see it does have 3D properties to it. Some very famous works of art. The Starry Night by Van Gogh. The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. This one is more flat. It's just like one tower of Legos, giving it kind of a pixely look. The girl with the pearl earring there. And this is a self-portrait of Rembrandt. Versions of all sorts of different artwork, including this rendition of an early cave painting. There is a small piece of the Sistine Chapel. Apparently he did not go for the gusto and build the entire Sistine Chapel out of Legos. Here we have American Gothic. Now, I don't know if this is still here in Chicago, but when I was a young child and we were going to the Chicago Art Museum, and they actually had American Gothic on display, and it was the first like piece of art, famous piece of art that I actually saw with my own eyes. Have Mr. Screamy right there. A Lego rendition of Whistler's Mother. We see a piece of work by Frida Kahlo. Frida did a lot of really cool self-portraits. Now we enter the sculpture garden. We have a bust of Nefertiti along with the Great Sphinx. Oh, I do really like this T-Rex here with a floating crown over his head. Here's Michelangelo's David. And the Lego version makes me less uncomfortable. And the famed Venus de Milo there, missing her arms. Do love this amazing Easter Island head there. This sculpture is called Flyboy. It says that this is inspired by the Tuskegee Airmen. This sculpture is called Hands. See, his hands have actually crumbled off his arms there. He seems very concerned about it. See the big red face there. This is called Swimmer. You can see the person there swimming through the pile of Legos. These are very cool here. Different torsos with different shaped heads. The figure there, it's like turning into a block. I guess these are giant musical notes with human faces. There's some very interesting human forms here built by Legos. You can see this guy is literally tearing off its own head. So this person's coming apart. This person is climbing a ladder that is somehow made out of themselves. Very interesting stuff. Long, long ago. Oh, you can see the T-Rex here made out of Legos. Oh, this one is really fascinating here. It's called Yellow, I guess because of the color, but you can see the person there ripping open their torso, their chest, and having all their insides spill out like Legos. Well, things are about to get intense as we travel through the darkness. So you can see this figure being grabbed by these super creepy hands from behind. Oh wow, look at this skull wall here. These different skulls. This is called a wall. As you can see the figure breaking through the wall there. You see this figure here removing their face. This figure here tearing the skin off their own face to reveal their terrifying skull. Oh, the colors there, it almost reminds me of Skeletor from He-Man. You can see the dress here, the red dress, the pieces flying off the back. This looks almost like an old dress form. Floating umbrella, happy little dog by a tree, and then a few clouds. We head into the transportation section. You got the train there, a plane, and an automobile. Under the plane here, we have a scale replica of the city of Chicago. You can see the Sears/Willis Tower right there. So we look at the downtown area of Chicago. Oh, look at this. The landing gear of the plane is being closed up back inside of the actual plane. That's crazy. Oh, you can see night. Night has fallen on Chicago. You can see the buildings turning their lights on for the evening. You can see the port right here. These barges would bring in freight from other lands, and then the train here that would pick up that freight and take it into Chicago. You actually get a view of what the miniature train sees as it travels around the model. It's pretty cool. Oh, slow down, train. Big city of Chicago there. As the trains travel in and out, back the more rural areas of the country. Oh, there's another train. The other end of the model brings us to Seattle for some reason. You can see the Space Needle there. Man, there's a lot of trains going right now. See the Space Needle right there? And there is Mopop, the Museum of Pop Culture, both excellent, excellent attractions. This button here says push to start. Oh, there we go. There's an area here called Yesterday's Main Street. As we walk our feet, oh, it's on this cobblestone street here. Some mannequins looking at us from the store windows. Here is the Berghoff. Looks like some sort of bar or club. You can see the waitress right there. Old Nickelodeon theater here. Get our tickets from this lady here. And then we head inside and watch our movie. We actually have a simulated coal mine here where you can go down and explore a coal mine. It's an additional ticket, so I did not get that for today, but maybe someday I'll come back and experience the coal mine. I remember it from when I was a little kid. This is called Numbers in Nature. It's a mirror maze, so a mirror maze here inside the museum. I should check this out. Heading into the mirror maze. I have some experience with mirror mazes, but I can still find them quite tricky and difficult. As you see from all these different carpetbaggers, it appears that I've immediately struck a dead end. Heading through the maze, we just gotta be patient. Once again, an over conflagration of carpetbaggers has occurred, so we need to turn around and go the other way. Oh, look at this. This just popped up in the mirror. It's talking about snowflakes. It's an educational mirror maze. My mother always said that a mirror maze is like a snowflake. I think that's a clue. It appears that things have become somewhat repetitive in here. Oh, it looks like we have succeeded in escaping the mirror maze. And as a reward for conquering the mirror maze, we get to see a plastinated human bronchial tree. Here we have a collection of different robots of all these colorful drones. There's the DJI Phantom. How much I miss that drone so much. See the Robo Snake there. Some of these more humanoid robots. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting robot right there. So look at the different robotic creatures. Oh, look at that thing. That smiling head. We're going to be heading into the genetics lab. Oh, reminds me of Gremlins 2. Got some cloned mice in here. Unfortunately, the clones are all sleeping right now. When we came here to the Museum of Science and Industry as kids, this was always one of our favorite exhibits. You have the baby chicks hatching from eggs. You can see the newborn baby chicks. These have just wrestled their way out of those eggshells. Sometimes when you show up at the right time, you can actually see a bird emerging from its actual egg. Yeah, you can see these eggs here actually have cracks and beak holes where the little baby birds have begun the process of fighting their way out of the egg. Looks like this guy over here has just wrestled his way out of that egg. And after they hatch, they move them over here where they can just hang out and be really adorable all day long. Hey baby chicks, what are you doing? And over here by the baby chicks, we have another mold-a-rama that actually has baby chicks in it. Let's make ourselves some baby chicks. All right, 2 baby chicks coming up. Here's the chicks. Oh, they're very hot. Some very, very hot chicks right here in the Museum of Science and Industry. Oh, don't want to fall. Let's see, the baby chick's just been hatched. This one's even got a little piece of egg still on his head. This next exhibit is called Fast Forward, Inventing the Future. Oh, look at this. We have this curtain of clouds. I think we can just pass through. Ooh. This little snowmobile drone is pretty cool. This guy here, Lonnie Johnson, is a nuclear engineer, and he actually invented the Super Soaker, so he would have been my hero as a kid. There's actually a prototype version of the Super Soaker right there. Over here they talk about science fiction inspiring science fact. We have the E.T.'s communication device from the movie E.T., as well as talking here about actress Nichelle Nichols, who was in Star Trek, says that she worked for NASA recruiting astronaut candidates. Here is rocketing pioneer Robert Goddard getting ready to launch this early rocket that would eventually get much bigger. It says, in your sights, the U-505 submarine. And to see the submarine, we have to head to the subterranean area of the museum. So these are all merchant ships sunk by German U-boats. As you see, it's a lot of ships. And here we have the Battle of the Atlantic here. See these guys stranded on a piece of wood as their boat has been exploded by a no-good German U-boat. And remember, loose lips sink ships. See them hunting down the U-boat over here.
Stay clear when we fire torpedo. Torpedo in the water.
And here we have it. Here is the U-boat. This is a genuine Nazi submarine that actually took down U.S. boats. It was actually captured in 1944, and we never gave it back. We stuck it here in the Museum of Science and Industry. See the U-boat from down here, and see the torpedo coming out of the torpedo hole right there. Another mold-a-rama here. This one makes the U505 Submarine. Entered a section where they talk about rocket ships. Then over here we have the Aura 7. It says this is the second manned United States spaceship to orbit Earth. I think if we maybe peek in there and see there's like a little astronaut inside. See the astronaut? I see him. And here we have the actual Apollo 8 space module. This is the first manned spacecraft to orbit the moon. That is pretty insane. We go up here, we can peek inside of the Apollo 8 capsule. Yeah, not very roomy in there. To me, spaceflight is all about rampant claustrophobia. And in here, the mold-a-rama has the Gemini Capsule. That's a big chunky mold-a-rama right there. Now, I honestly don't think that I have this particular mold. Oh, there it is. There we have the Gemini Capsule. Now, this is an interesting gallery in here. It's the I Spy gallery. They have these very unusual displays in here, and then I guess riddles and things you have to find. This is called Our Kind of Town. So this exhibit here is all things from Chicago. There's Miss O'Leary's cow who burned down Chicago. Not a true story, actually. And there's the Blues Brothers, ghost heads right there. You can see the Chicago style hot dog there. The fan indicating this is a windy city. And there is American Gothic, so I guess that is something that you find here in Chicago. Chicago deep dish pizza, as well as a Ferris wheel. Of course, the first Ferris wheel ever was set up in Chicago. This is the Snowball in here. As you see, it's a bunch of penguins having a party. You can see they got some fish on ice that they're snacking on. Yeah, this penguin party is pretty interesting. So yeah, so weird. They like tell you things to find. This is our doctor is shedding his boring white coat and sprouting a tail and brown fur at his throat. And we look in the science lab, and it does appear that the scientist is sprouting fur for some reason. So look, he's studying some giant insects there. A very interesting scene. Some animals in here. We see this ostrich from a carousel. It's a lion peeking around the corner. But check this out over here. There's a bear in a tutu. It's a little fairy tale display in here. Notice the three little pigs. There's almost this comic book like display. These old stage coaches. You see the animated characters hanging out the window. It's actually a circus exhibit in here. Look in there, you can see the miniature circus. Little parade of floats going around the big top. You can see the circus wagons here traveling through the main street of the town. You can see in that one, in that wagon, there's a little woman and a bunch of giant snakes. Some holes to poke our heads through here. Oh, and look at me. I am a little baby shooting guns. And I guess now I'm covered in tattoos and wrestling two snakes. There's some crazy Rube Goldberg-esque machine here. See the ball traveling. What's it doing? What's it doing? Oh, ball going up there on an elevator. Where'd the ball go? Oh, just boarded a bus. Oh, there goes the bus. Oh, the ball just disembarked. Heading over here, ringing these bells. going down there where there's a unicycler. Oh, and it's taking this funicular railroad up this way. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun right here. Well, we've entered the farming section here. Here it shows us what a cow eats. You get the bucket of grain, the bucket of water. The cow eats that and then excretes a giant pile of turd on the museum floor. We have robotic milking. We hit this button that says watch the robot milk the cow. Uh-oh, watch out, cow. Here comes the milking robot. See, it's ready to go up there and siphon the cow's udders and drain the cow of all its milk. Now this here is Colleen Moore's Fairy Castle. Now, Colleen Moore apparently at one point was a very famous actress, but she actually created this castle, this miniature castle, which she would travel around and show children during the Great Depression. You can see the courtyard here. You can see, oh yeah, there's Cinderella in the courtyard there. You can see the horses, and then the rockabye baby in a tree right there. See the pirate-themed room right here.
Now we pass on to the room.
So move over. There's a chamber with secret treasure in there.
The treasure is reached by a trapdoor.
See the big organ inside this room. One interesting thing is they actually used to have a fairy castle mold-a-rama. Unfortunately, that is no longer available. You can see all these different rooms in here. You can see up there in that room they have a polar bear rug wired to wear. This is digital clothing. These fashion designs. Well, you can see the scarf there, the little sequins there move. Weird. The thunderstorm dress here, it says to clap loudly. Oh yeah, you can see the noise lights up the dress. Some backpacks with digital pictures on them. Here's some interesting varieties of prosthetic arms. It says this prosthetic is actually a glitter cannon that affixes to a severed limb. This here shows a suit with an airbag in it. So as this motorcycler is being flung through the air, an airbag pops up in his suit. Up here in the balcony, we are above the train set and the model of Chicago. We also have these planes up here. You can see this Nazi plane being shot down. They have Nazi symbols on this plane, but I think that's just how many Nazis they've murdered. And I think a lot of people growing up in this area have memories of this growing up, at least I do. These are the body slices. These are just slices of human bodies that are sliced in order so you can see the insides. These used to just be in a random stairwell here, so you'd like stumble on them. And I remember being traumatized as a kid when it was explained to me that these are indeed real human body slices. It's a human patient simulator. I don't know if it looks like he's feeling that well. So you got different chunks of human parts. Unfortunately, when people are sliced up, they just look like country ham. I mean, just look at the horror here in this exploded human body. Look at that. That looks like the king of monsters. Here is a human circulatory system. I bet you guys didn't realize the human circulatory system was so terrifying. Now, when I was a kid, they had a giant heart that you could walk through, and now they just have this giant heart stuck to the wall with beats and gloves, some items from people with perceived disabilities. This is a prosthetic leg especially designed for mountain climbing, and here we have a wheelchair modified to play rugby in. I do believe they call this sport murder ball. This exhibit here on healthy eating, and over here you're talking about Twinkies, mystery food. There's a birth certificate for this Twinkie here. It was born October 8th, 2009, and I guess you can see the Twinkie is hanging in there. No mold, no decomposition. It does look like it may have become petrified a little bit. Here we have the Pioneer Zephyr train here in the lobby of the Museum of Science and Industry. Looks like we can actually tour the inside of the Zephyr. So we head inside the Zephyr here. We can see the bathroom there, little teeny tiny bathroom. Oh my gosh, look at this train car back here. This is amazing. You can actually see the train traveling, looking out the window. Yeah, this is beautiful. There's a little kitchen back here where passengers can get a little something to eat. Here on the cargo train, we can peek in some of these boxes and see what they're transporting. It looks like they're transporting tiddlywinks. Here's the mail room. They transport all this mail here by train. Now it is time to exit through the gift shop. Oh, they have a miniature version of the science ball. Still burns. I've been seeing these a lot in museum gift shops. They all sell the little COVID-19 plushies. Fortunately, you can take the vaccine with you as well. For some reason, the Museum of Science and Industry shirt has a donut with Saturn rings. Do you think astronauts really just eat ice cream all day long? Thank you for joining me here today at the Museum of Science and Industry here in Chicago. One of my favorite museums to visit as a child, and I love going back as an adult and looking back over the exhibits. The Art of the Brick, the temporary exhibit here, very, very cool. So thank you guys for joining me. If you like these videos, please subscribe and let you know when new videos are coming out. I travel around the country filming roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun stuff. I've been to the 48 continental United States and continue traveling. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling 5 different styles of enamel pins in the Etsy shop. All that helps keep this train on the track, this Zephyr on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.